Question 1. Tomiso finds the information below on a 125-gram packet of potato chips. That's the information that we have. Okay. Explain the term per. The term per simply means for each. It means for each of every. It means each, or you can say for every item, for every. Okay. The ratio of the ratio of proteins to carbohydrates in the nutrition information is 8,46 to 52,4. Write the unit as a unit ratio. The moment you hear unit ratio, meaning the number is going to start with a 1. So let's find out here. What are we going to do? So it's 8,46 to 52, so we want this to become 1. What are we going to do? We are going to divide through by, and we divide through by. This goes with that. That means our ratio has become 1 is to 52, 52,4 divided by 8, so here it becomes 619, which is approximately 1 is to 6,2. The unit ratio, it should start with always a 1. 1.1.3. If Tomiso eats 5 packets of potato chips, how much sugar would be in 5 packets of potato chips? Write your answer in grams. Let's come to the chart here. Where is sugar? When you look at sugars, it's here. How much is it? It's in grams. And how much is it? 1. You understand? For every 100 grams. So simply meaning, we are going to say it will be 1 times 5, and the answer becomes 5 grams. Tomiso has 5 different options where he must buy potato chips. The following are the 5 different options. So there are 5 there. Their names are those ones on top. They're asking you write down the number of potato chips flavors with only 1 word flavor name. These are 2. So we don't need this. Salt and vinegar, we don't need that. Oh, this is 1. This is sour cream, and this is not needed. Lemon, we need it. So the answer here, there are 2. Okay. Determine the probability as a percentage that Tomiso will choose lemon. Now, how many chances does he have? He has 5 out. So 1 out of 5 as a percentage multiplied by 100. So the percentage probability is 20%. 1.3. The map below shows the layout plan and the symbols of the classroom of where Tomiso attends school. The key explains whatever diagram you see here. This one is a cupboard. Then this is a table for the teacher. Then this is a desk. These small ones here, these are chairs. Yes, the door is this one here. The dotted line, these ones. These are windows. So let's go. You've analyzed that. Then come to this and you say, take a note. Here they're telling 1 square represents 1 meter squared. So these ones here, each of them is 1 meter squared. Anyway, determine the total number of chairs in the group in the classroom. So chairs, we are looking at dots. When you look at these ones here, these are already 10. So also down here they are 10 plus 1 from the teacher. So they are 21. 21 chairs. To which side does the door open when one enters the classroom? Now, when you enter here, when you enter, where does it go? So remember, when are you entering? This is your right, this is your left. So the door is turning this way. This is the door. Because if you bring it back, it will close. When you take it, it goes. So it turns to the right hand side. It turns to the right hand side. Okay, we look at this other question here that says to me, so leaves home at 6:30 a.m. every day to school and arrives at school at 7:25 a.m. Determine how much time Tumiso spends on the road. Remember, this is more like duration, whereby end time minus the time when the person what? Started. So the end time is 7:25 minus 6:30. So a mere calculation. The 25 is harder for 30. You can't subtract 30 from 25. So what do? We borrow from 7. Remember, these were hours. So if you borrow from 1 hour, you've borrowed 60 minutes. So 60 plus 25, you get 85. 85 minus 30, you remain with 55. Then here we are remaining with 6. 6 minus 6, you get 0. So the person spends 50. There's a key that you can use on the calculator. Here we go. This key here. So we shall say 7, we press the key. 25, we press the key. Minus 6, press the key. 30, you press the key. Then afterwards you press equals. You see that you've got the answer as 55 minutes. 55 minutes. All right. Let's look at question number 2. Question number 2 talks of a municipality has decided to supply community of with tanks. All right. So here the main thing here is to look at calculations. What do you need to do? Number 1, it says 2.1.1. The community of Rakaneth uses 3 rectangular tanks filled with water per day. Determine the quantity of water in kiloliters that is consumed by the community per day. Now these are the rectangular ones. So we are looking at how much do they use a day. So it's going to be 30,000 times 3, which becomes 90,000. But these are liters. We want them to become kiloliters. What do? You divide by 1,000. So the answer here became 90 kiloliters. Okay. 2.1.2. Determine the number of cylindrical tanks that will be needed to supply 90,000 liters of water to the community if the municipality decides to supply the community with the cylindrical tanks. All right. What are we going to do here? They're telling us determine the number of cylindrical tanks. So first and foremost, we need to find out the volume of the cylindrical tank. So let's come here. The volume of the cylindrical tank, we are going to say volume equals to pi r squared h. We have our h, we have our pi, the r is missing, so we get it from here. This is diameter divided by 2 equals to radius. So the diameter divided by that, you get 1,42 divided by 2, you have 0. So the volume will be 3,142 times 0,6. 0.71 times the height, which is 1.86. All right, what are we looking for? The volume, because the water they are going to supply, it has to be divided. So we shall take the 9 divided by 3,142 times 0.71 times 9 times 1,86. We are looking for how much volume shall we get there. So it's 90,000 divided by pi r squared times 1,86. We are looking for volume. So these are the number of tanks that we are going to be the number of what? Tanks. But take note, there's no comma at tank. So this one becomes that one tanks. Okay. Calculate the top area of the concrete stand in a meters cubed. This is a concrete stand. You're calculating the area. Area will equal to 3,142 times 0.75 squared. So this is 1.77. These are meters what? Squared. Hence, determine the area that will be left after the tank. Now, you have to look for the area of the tank, which is going to be pi r squared. 3,142 times we are looking for this volume here. So remember the diameter here is 1,1. The diameter is 1,42. We need the radius of this tank. Please, you get a mark whenever you show what is not there. So the radius is going to be the radius is going to be 0.71. Let's substitute it here. So this one became 1.58. These are meters squared. So that's saying how much air is left. So we're going to subtract the 2. Let's subtract the 2, 1.7. Approximately it's what? 0.186 meters squared. Yeah, this is the same as 0.19 meters what? Squared. Yes, let's look at question number 2.3. To mix 1 cubic meter, you need all the 7 bags, 0.7 cubic meters of sand, 0 of cubic meters of stone. So cement takes a bigger part. Anyway, determine the quantity of cement that is required to concrete the slab that JoJo tank sits. If the volume of the concrete is 1,1 1,54. So what we're going to do, here they're telling you 1 cubic, so 1 cubic meter, it needs 7 bags. What about if we are looking for, what about if you're looking for 1,54? How many cements are we looking at here? How many bags are we looking at? So we shall multiply by 7 and divide by 1,54 times 7. So we shall end up having 10,78. But bags are not sold in halves. So we round up and we say 11. Okay. 2.2.4, explain why it's important that the mixture of the concrete must be adhered to. Please, you say it's for the stand to be what? To be strong. A strong foundation, in other words. Anyway, question number 3. Question number 3 talks of an annexure. An annexure like this, and says write down the type of scale that is indicated. You look at the scale that is indicated here. This is the scale. That's the scale. Then let's look at the question. So they said we shall say it's a what? A bus scale. Oh, you can say it's what? A linear scale. Write down the number of neighboring provinces. The number, don't list them, but just count them. The number that surrounds Gauteng. We have 1 northwest, yes, 2 Pumalanga, then northwest without crossing. Pumalanga. Pumalanga, it's the 3. Then all of a sudden we have a 4. We have northwest. This is northwest, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Limpopo is here, 5. So here we shall say 5 provinces. 5 provinces. Then explain why Johannesburg and Pretoria are. We say these are major cities. Okay, describe the route. When we are describing, all we need to know, turn right, turn left, which roads are you going to use? But this is Johannesburg to Vereeniging. Let's see Johannesburg. Johannesburg is here. So you're going to Vereeniging. For anything. They're coming this side here. That means from Johannesburg, use this is Johannesburg. You can come like this. Then when you're describing, you say use this was what? Use N1. This is N1. Use N1. Then branch off. You pass Jamestown, pass through Alberton, Maidstone. The destination will be there. You are describing. Anyway, let's look at this other one here. On the map, explain why these roads are called. We say they do what? They connect provinces. They connect provinces. That's why they're called nation. Okay, the ratio given there is 1:2, 1.5 million. Explain the meaning of the scale. 1 unit on paper, that's what you should always stand for. 1 unit. 1 unit on paper equals 1.5 million. 1 unit on paper equals to 1.5 million. Okay. Then 3.6, use your ruler, measure the distance I measured between Pretoria and the Johannesburg. Measure the distance between Johannesburg and Pretoria. Measure that distance. For me, I got 5 centimeters. So here I measured 5 centimeters. So if I'm to use the scale to get the actual distance, I'm going to say 5 centimeters times 1.5 million. So this times 1.5 million. So we end up having 7.5 million. So we divide this by a million, by 100,000, sorry. So here the answer became becomes 75 kilometers. Explain why the above could be wrong in terms of accuracy. For enlarged image will not enlarge the scale. The actual distance between Pretoria and Benin is 150 kilometers. Mr. Price from USA wants to convert the information according to his country's units. Convert the distance from Pretoria into miles. So we shall say times 0.621. Let's see the answer there. 155 times 0.21. So the answer became 96.22. Let's make them. These are what? Miles. It takes 2 hours and 30 minutes to drive from Pretoria to Vereeniging. Determine the speed in miles per hour. So here we've got the distance already in. So we shall write it down there. Divide by time. The time we've just seen it 2.5 hours, which is 2.5. So the answer became, so these are miles per hour. Per hour. Let's look at question number 4. And next year B shows the layout plan of a church. Use the next year E to answer the questions that follow. 2 items are indicated and mentioned. So they're asking 2 items are being mentioned to indicate. Mention 2 items to indicate that this is a higher level, like it has storage. So 1, the stairs. These are stairs. These are stairs. 2, we have what? Elevators. Definitely, these are the 2. Indicated. Mention 2 items are indicated and mentioned. So here we are saying we have the stairs and the elevator. The elevator. The plan, the layout plan of the church shows when and the area of the women is this much, and the dimensions for the men are that much. Determine the difference. So this is going to be 400 times 300 will become 12. Oh, these are centimeters. Divide them by meters square. The answer became 12. Okay, so we're going to look for the difference. That's what I said. Determine the difference between the areas. So this is for men and this is for women. So the difference is going to be, and it's 6 what? Meters square. This is for female and this is for male. The church management has decided to retile the fellowship hall. The total area of the fellowship hall is 294 meters squared. Verify the calculations where their budget. So their budget is to meet 55 for tiles. So remember, tiles used are, so we shall take the 2.9, the area going to be covered, divided by the area of one tile. What answer do you get? The answer that we have there is what? 2,400. So these are the number of what? Tiles that we need. But these tiles are going to be packed in a box of 8. So we shall divide this by 8 to know how many boxes. So we end up having 300 what? Boxes, but each costs 189 189 rands 95 cents. So we find out that money there. $189. So the claim is invalid. The claim is invalid because the money is not the money is more than what the budget. Do you think the church layout plan shows that it can accommodate people with disabilities? My answer is yes, because I've seen the wheelchair sign. Blue in color. When you look at their next, look at that. We have 1, then we have 2. This means that people can access, the disabled people can access the building.